Do you bleed blue? If you do, this is the show for you. The Blue Note Fan Report, hosted by
the Hawaii Blues fan. Aloha, and welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. This is the show where we're going to talk about Blues hockey, and we're going to talk about the fans of the Blues. Enjoy doing the show. Hoping we got a new feel to it, and I am excited about Blues hockey. Man, it's been a long 10 days since we last played, but before we get started, man, I need you to go out there and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell. When you hit the bell, it'll let you know every time I upload a video. And then, thumbs up. If you like it, other people will like it. The more people that like it, the more people that'll watch it. Thumbs up for the Hawaii Blues fan. So, it's been 10 days since we played any hockey. Last time we played, a week and a half ago, we went duck hunting in Anaheim, and we were able to bag a few. Blues beat the Anaheim Ducks 5-1. Game had a kind of a bad start to it. Anaheim scored early, but then all of a sudden Tarasenko just slipped into his little spot, slapped one in, and they were off to the races. 5 different players scored. Good way to end the kind of first half of the season, going into the All-Star break. Well, after that, most of the Blues got to head home, with the exception of got a free trip to San Jose for the All-Star game. He was the Blues' lone representative. He went out there, and boy, did he shine. He came in third in the passing skills competition, and then he almost stole the MVP trophy. The Central Division won the first round for the first time ever, and in the second round, they got beat up by the Metropolitans and Sidney Crosby, who eventually won the MVP. But along the way, Ryan O'Reilly stole a few hearts. Yes, he did. He had a great All-Star game, and with the All-Star game, the NHL came out with Hockey Tech, or Tech Hockey, and they introduced a kind of reboot of the glow puck. Not the same as the glow puck that Fox introduced back in the mid-90s. This is a lot different. It's not really the puck glowing, but a gray trail after the puck, along with the names of players above their heads. Now, there's a meme going around where all the players were skating in the warm-up and all the names up, and it's kind of confusing. However, during the All-Star game, they used it mainly on offense, only highlighted 2 or 3 players, showed some of the skating, showed the puck, had a little trail to it when it went a certain speed, and that's the other thing they started showing was the speed of the puck on shots. It was interesting. I heard a lot of comments, both good and bad. My view on it is when I do breakdowns, since I can't use video, I have to do stills, and it's hard to highlight the puck. This trail, if it's there, will help highlight the puck. And it might help some newer fans track and find the puck. So I'm willing to see how it plays out. I think if it's done right, it will be an asset to the game. Again, if it's done right. So, along with the All-Star theme, during the skills competition, the NHL, or a couple teams, invited 2 ladies to participate. The first one of them being Kendall Coynes Schofield. She was in the fastest skater and turned in the 3rd quickest time, only about a second slower than the winner, who turned in a record time. So, I mean, it was very impressive. And, you know, everybody went goo goo gaga. Great, I loved it. I think it was amazing how all that played out. But the National Blackhawks channel decided to jump on board and invite her to be a guest analyst between the pipes, between the boards. You know, I think that's great. Kendall Coynes is not just a hockey player. She's on Team USA. She's won 5 gold medals at the World Championships. 1 Olympic gold medal and 1 Olympic silver medal. I mean, she's got the credo. This woman knows how to play hockey. Pierre McGuire, who many Blues fans cannot stand, decided to mansplain the game to her. I get part of it. She said she was overwhelmed. But I don't think she meant she was overwhelmed by where she was. She was overwhelmed by all the things that had happened. Pierre McGuire really went out of his way to just be creepy. Now, she has released a statement saying they're friends and they know, and she didn't expect that, but she can understand how people see that. I'm sorry. I think McGuire needs a short break. Week, 2 weeks, away from hockey, away from this, because what he did was wrong. And when I seen it, all of it, you know, the "I'll be your cage" comment, yeah, that was, it wasn't right. Needs to be away from it. Well, that's most of the things that had happened as far as hockey goes. Well, as far as the Blues go, the big thing that happened was David Perron. He has been placed on the IR and will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. Huge loss. Huge loss. He was just coming along. They brought McEachran up. Hopefully he gets some time to shine. But now is the time for the Blues. So as of right now, the Blues are 4 points out of a playoff spot with 1 to 4 games in hand on every team in front of them. Colorado sits in the last playoff spot with 50 games played and 52 points. The Blues sit in 6th place or 7th place, I think, with 49 games played and 49 points. This is it. This is the stretch. And February is going to be a tough month. Now, up to this point, the Blues have played 17 weekend games. That's a lot. A lot of weekend games. 17 weekend games. And their record is 5-10-2. 5-10-2. Now, if you think about this, if they take 5 of those games and flip them, and they go 10-5-2, that's 10 points. They'd have 49 games played and 59 points, and would be in 3rd in the division. Well, why is this important? Well, in the month of February, they play on every Saturday and Sunday, but Super Bowl Sunday. They play in 14 Saturday and Sunday games between now and the end of April. 14. That's a lot. If they continue to play the way they have played on the weekend, this trend, the playoffs are shot. The weekends are the most important games. The Saturday game coming up against Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus, huge. Not only that, they only play five home games in the month of February. You know, that's a lot of road time. They play back-to-back games every Saturday and Sunday but one, and that's this weekend. With all that being said, it's time for the Blues to really come together. They're healthy, with the exception of Perron. They are moving in the right direction. Tarasenko seems to be playing better. And there's still a lot of questions, though. Buyers, sellers, and all that. And with the All-Star break, kind of brings us up on grading periods, mid-season grades. A lot of people out there have done grading. I've seen the Game Time magazine. Game Time newspaper did some grading on their website. I'm not going to grade individual players. I kind of talked about this during the live I did during the All-Star game. I graded the team as a whole. First, let's start with management. Now, management you have to look at before the season started and after the season started. Before the season, it really looked like management made some good moves. Bringing in O'Reilly, bringing in Bozak, bringing in Maroon, you know, the trade. It really seemed like they had done some good movements. The architect put a plan together. Problem is, the builder, the contractor, didn't understand the plan. And that being Coach Joe. Terrible start led to his firing. Now we have Coach Blueberry. And he's not doing much better. He's really not. And the Blues have decided to let him ride it out. So what do? I'm not a fan of Coach Blueberry. Berube. Yes, I know how to say it now. And I'm not a big fan of what this team has. As far as management goes, prior to the start of the season, I would have given them a B+. During the season, they've not done much. I would give them a D, C, C- up to this point. Coaching. Have to look at coaching as a whole, not just the two separate coaches. I see too many defensive lapses that I think are now coaching. When you have 5-on-2 and someone scores a goal because nobody's covering them, I think there's a coaching disparity there. The 2-goal losses, the 2-goal leads that are lost and become losses is staggering. In that case, I'm giving coaching a D+. We'll go with the offense. The offense has been sluggish. They have at times come out, and then other times they've just been completely gone. I'll kind of go with the C there. Tarashenko's had a tough year. Shin has had a tough year. O'Reilly has been fantastic. Perron has been coming on. There's been some good things there. There's been some injuries. Steen is Steen. I'm not a big fan of his, and I've talked about that in the past. I'll kind of go with a C on the offense. Defense. Defense, to me, is lacking really bad. Petrangelo's had a rough season. I don't know if it's because of the C or what. Now, I do want to bring something up real quick when I talk about the C. Bob Foley, Hockey Bob, had put a post in one of the groups saying that the captain's sole job was to liaison with the referees and so forth. And, you know, that might be the written job. But the unwritten rules are the captain is the team leader. And in hockey, it really means something. In the other sports, baseball, most of you don't even know who the team captain of the Cardinals is. Couldn't tell you. I might guess Molina, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. Football, usually there's 3 or 4 team captains. There's an offensive, a defensive, special teams. You know, it all depends. You just never know. And the only thing they really deem to do is come out for the coin toss. Basketball, I don't even know if they have a team captain. But in hockey, the captain is important. And hockey is the only one where you know who the captain is, right? You got that big old C right there, or an A for the assistants. You know it. If his captaincy is having some issues, which I kind of think it is, he really needs to have a closed-door meeting and take care of it. It hasn't happened. Bomeister has starting to come of late, but has not been that good. Parayko, I see coming out of his shell, becoming a much better player. Dunn has some instances. Gunderson is moving along. Edmondson is, you know, there's some upside there. But in the whole, up to this point, D+. Special teams. We'll start with the penalty kill. Penalty kill has given up way too many shorthanded goals. At one point, it was one of the best in the league. Now it's mirrored at 17th, 18th, 19th, somewhere around the bottom half. Penalty kill, in my eyes, is a C-. Power play has been up and down, sketchy at best. It'll either go for long stretches without scoring, or it'll go for long stretches with scoring often. So it's kind of hard to tell. It's streaky. I'll kind of stick with a C there. Again, they're mirrored in the bottom half, 17th, 18th, somewhere in that general vicinity. Now, this is the one that everybody's going to want to talk about, goaltending. Goaltending for me has not been as bad as everybody thinks it has. Since I started doing the breakdowns, I really started noticing these defensive lapses. I started noticing how guys were, Petrangelo losing a puck in the neutral zone and giving it up and letting a goal, and a goal going in. 5-on-2, 5-on-3, someone getting free. Petrangelo not covering Ovechkin on a power play. Things like that. There are a lot of those things that goes off the goalie. Now, I don't have a stat on this, but something I'm going to try and find is that they have a stat on deflections. I would love to see how many deflected goals our goalies have let in, because it seems like it happens a lot. Bouwmeester, Steen's done it. I mean, it seems to happen a lot. Excuse me. Bennington has done a nice job. He's a rookie. It's a very small sample size. He's not the second coming. We need both of them. Both of them need to be good. Up to this point, I will give, and I'm going to get crucified for this, or slaughtered, probably a better word. I'm going to give goaltending a C-. I think that it's been better than people have seen it to be or expect it to be. And along with that, I put a post in the groups asking if anybody had any questions or something they wanted me to discuss, and one of the things came up was Jake Allen. Another thing that I seen was, have we traded Jake yet? Well, I really hate to tell you this, but Jake's not getting traded. And the reason Jake's not getting traded, he has a $4.5 million AAV cap hit. He's getting paid $5.5 million. I think that's the average annual value is 4.5, something along there. He has 3 years left on his contract, and he has this perception or this perceivedness of him playing poorly. Because he has the perception that he's played poorly, no GM's really going to go out there. There's no GM that's going to bring him in at this point in the season. Maybe in the off season it's possible, but right now, no. It's not going to happen. You're not getting Bobrovsky, and even if you did, you want to talk about trades. Remember a couple of years back when we traded for Ryan Miller, and everybody was like, oh, Ryan Miller, Ryan Miller, Ryan Miller. The guy was a sieve. He couldn't stop. You think Allen is bad? I remember Miller couldn't stop anything. Anything. He just... goal. It was ridiculous how bad he was. So I don't want Bob as a rental. If you can't bring him in and sign him, nah, don't want him. Right? Let's stick with what we got and write it out. I also, another question was, and I'm sorry I don't remember who asked all these questions. I apologize for that. Another question was, who's going to get traded? Who do I think is going to get traded? Really, right now, I only see 2 players with the potential for trades. Gunnarsson and Maroon are both unrestricted free agents with no trade clause. That being said, one of them, there was a post about trading Maroon. And it was really good, saying that, if Toronto couldn't get us, maybe we should trade Maroon, try and get some picks or something for him. And it's not a bad suggestion. Now, a lot of people went out there and are thinking that Maroon's been bad or he hasn't done great for us. Maroon's a grinder. He's a beat up. He's a tough guy. He's a grinder. He's going to get in the corners. He's going to dig pucks out. That's what he's been doing all season. But because he's not scoring goals, everyone thinks he's having a bad year. I don't think he's having a bad year. There is someone I would love to talk about him, and I'm hoping, I'm not going to spoil it just yet, that in the coming weeks that will happen, and I'll be able to talk to him about this. It would be interesting to see it, hear what he has to say, if he'll expound a little bit. He has a unique perspective on it. That's all I'll say. With that, the other one is Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson may or may not get a trade. Now, the other name that I've heard popped up, and this is surprising to me, is Bouwmeester. Bouwmeester's a veteran, but he is getting better. If you could get something for Bouwmeester, a lot of people would be happy, but I think it'd have to be a player and not picks. Now, we do need picks. We have traded our picks away left and right, and we need them. But if you're getting picks, that means you're giving up on the season. And I don't think that the Blues are giving up just yet, in my opinion. Another question I got was who needs to improve for the Blues to make the playoffs. And another one was, which one player needs to drastically have a better second half in order for the Blues to make the playoffs? Well, the second question is a trick question to me because I don't think that there's any one player, and I know what that person wants me to say. That person who asked that question specifically wants me to point out Allen. Allen can stand on his head all day long and make every stop he's supposed to. If the defense is not going to cover guys and leave guys wide open for passes in the slot, Allen's not going to stand a chance. And that's happening way too often and way too much. The thing that needs to change the most with our Blues is the defense. We need to lock that defense down. We are not a quick team, and we need to be a puck control team. If we are a puck control team, the other team doesn't have the puck. You don't have the puck, you can't score. You need to control the puck. We have done well on faceoffs. We're one of the top teams in that area. We've done well in some other categories, but right now, the thing that needs to change is defense. If our defense shores things up and our players get together and really start protecting and not over protecting, the Blues will become a puck control team. They will get some speed through the neutral zone. They'll get some better control through the neutral zone. And who knows what can happen. Now, just crunching a little bit of numbers, at 49 points, just to make 100 is 51 points. There's only 66 points left this season. 66 points, that's it. Right? To make 100, you know, you're talking 15 points. That's 5.5 games. It's not much before that happens, before you're unable to get to that point. You're looking at 7 games. That's 7.5 games. Figure 8 games with the overtime loss there, shootout loss. Blues don't have a lot of games to lose. They need to be in that 90 to 100 point range, and even 90 may not make it. They need to go out and win a lot. They need to win on the weekends. They need to put a string together, and more than just 3. They need a 4 or 5 win streak with 1 loss and another 4 or 5 win streak with 1 loss. Things like that will get us through. They need to win this month. They need to win. They play almost every Saturday, every Sunday, every Tuesday, and every Thursday of this month. Almost every other night with some back-to-backs. Gotta win. Right? 4 home games, the rest are away. This is an important month. You need to come out of this month in a playoff spot. That's my opinion. With all that being said, I know the show's going to be long because it's been a long way, so I'm going to kind of split things up today. I'm going to do, this will be part 1, and then I'll do part 2, which will be about the fan. Before we go, I want to say a big thank you. And I know a lot of people out there are Vegas Knights fans. I know that they had a lot of people rooting for them last year, and I know some St. Louis people are Knight fans. Louis Prisby, and I hope I say your last name right, Louis, does kind of the same thing I do. He talks about the Vegas Golden Knights on his YouTube channel called VGK Coverage. Wow, I went blank. VGK Coverage on YouTube. He's also on Twitter at that. Check him out. I'm going to put that link up here for you guys so you can see it. I'll put the link in the comments below so you guys can go to it. Louis has been helping me out, and I appreciate it. And also the Drop Hockey Podcast been helping me out a lot too. You guys, thanks for helping me become better at this. I really appreciate it. Right? that's going to be the end of part one. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot my prediction. Well, going into Columbus, who's already played a game, is scary. They are a good team. We're going up against Brovsky, who is a wonderful goalie. Not sure who's starting for the Blues. I'd like to think that the Blues can win, but after 10 days off, I'm going to predict a loss. Yeah, another loss. Sorry. Bad way to start, but that's what I see, and I'm going to predict it kind of bad. I'm going to say 5-2. All right. Thanks for watching part one of the newly named Hawaii Blues fans BlueNote Report, BlueNote Fan Report, and I'll see you in part 2.